My dear viewers, Assalamu alaikum. Today I have prepared MCQs from Ulysses, composed by Alferd Lord Tennyson. This presentation has been specially designed for BS English students to help them prepare effectively for their upcoming university examination. This presentation consists of carefully prepared MCQs from Ulysses by Alferd Lord Tennyson to assist my students in their preparation for the upcoming university exams. Alfred Lord Tennyson was a major poet of the Victorian age and served as the poet laureate of Great Britain. I must tell you that the poem Ulysses was written in 1833 and it was published in 1842. Now, here you go. The poem was first published in, there are four options: 1798, 1833, 1842, 1850. I've just told you that the poem was published in 1842. So answer C is correct. Odysseus is called Ulysses in Greek, Latin, French, or German. Odysseus is called Ulysses in Latin. Number 3, the poem is written in blank verse, free verse, rhyming couplets, or terza rima. So, the poem is written in blank verse. Remember this thing? Answer A is correct. Ulysses is written in blank verse. Number 4, who is the speaker in the poem Ulysses? You must know that the speaker is Ulysses himself. So, option C is correct. Ulysses is another name for, you must know, it is another name for Odysseus, while Ulysses is the Latin name of Odysseus. Ulysses feels bored with his life as a warrior, a sailor, a king of Ithaca, or a prisoner. So, as we have read in the poem that Ulysses was a king of Ithaca. Answer C is correct. According to Ulysses, life without adventure is peaceful, meaningless, enjoyable, or comfortable. So, Ulysses was quite restless without the adventure in his life. So, he means to say that life is quite meaningless without adventure. So, option B is correct. Next is, to whom does Ulysses leave the kingdom? Now, he wants to resume his adventures while leaving his kingdom to his son. You might have read the poem and you must remember that he wants to leave his kingdom to his son Telemachus. So his son's name is Telemachus. You must remember, it may come in other words in your MCQs, that what was the name of the son of Ulysses. You must know that his name is Telemachus, whom he wants to leave his kingdom and himself go on adventures. How does Ulysses describe Telemachus? How does he describe the characteristics of his own son? Whether he is brave and adventurous, whether he is weak and careless, he is patient and wise, or he is angry and proud. You must know that he describes his son as patient and wise. So he knows the rules and policies of the government and he can rule the kingdom wisely. So he describes his son as patient and wise. Next is, what is Ulysses' main desire in the poem? That is to rule peacefully, to earn wealth, to go on new adventures, or to rest at home. So option C is correct. That is to go on new adventure. Now, how is Ulysses, in what form is Ulysses written? It is written in free verse, blank verse, rhyming couplets, or sonnet form, as we have already done and seen that Ulysses is written in blank verse. Then there is a phrase from the poem, and it is very important line: to strive, to seek, and very inspirational line, very motivational line from the poem: to strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield. Expresses what? Sadness, anger, determination, or fear? So option C is correct, that is determination. Number 13. What theme is mainly highlighted in the poem? Love and romance? Not at all, definitely. Adventure and perseverance. Nature and beauty, war and violence. So the correct option is adventure and perseverance. Next is Ulysses is written in the form of ode, in the form of sonnet, dramatic monologue, or ballad. Now, you must know that definitely it is the form of dramatic monologue, in which there is a speaker who speaks without any audience in front of him. And he expresses his desires, his wishes, without listening to any response, without needing any response from the audience or from the listeners. Next is Ulysses rules over his kingdom. So, what is the name of the kingdom? That is Vatican, Sicily, Athens, or Ithaca. So, the correct, you know that Ulysses ruled over his kingdom, Ithaca, whom then he leaves, which he wants to leave to his son. And what is the name of his son? Telemachus. So you should know these basic details about Ulysses. Then, where does the poet want to reach through his adventure? What does he want to do, and where does he want to reach? And he definitely expresses his desire there, that is Happy Isles, Europe, New Zealand, or Mount Abora. The correct option is Happy Isles. Then the Happy Isles refer to heaven-like place, Ithaca, Troy, or Rome. Happy Isles is a heaven-like place where he wants to reach through his adventures. Whom does Ulysses hope to see in the Happy Isles? And he wants to meet Telemachus, his old sailors, Achilles, or his wife Penelope. So he wants to meet an old Greek hero, Achilles, there in the Happy Isles. In the poem Ulysses by Alferd Lord Tennyson, what does the phrase life to the lees mean? To live a sad life, to live a peaceful life, to live life fully until the very end, to live a short life. So option C is correct, to live life fully until the very end. Life to the lees is an idiom which means to live life fully until the very end. To follow knowledge like a sinking star is an example of metaphor, simile, personification, or irony. Definitely, the very word like shows that it is a comparison, indirect comparison, so it is simile. Now, the phrase life to the lees is an example of symbolism, hyperbole, alliteration, onomatopoeia. It is a symbolism, symbol of living life to the end. Then next is the sounding furrows. The phrase is used in the poem. It is an example of what? Personification, simile, irony, or pun. Now, sounding furrows. Furrows are, as you know, the long lines or the tracks made by the ship in water as it moves ahead. So if they are sounding, so Tennyson has given them human like quality. This is personification. Then free hearts, free foreheads show metaphor, alliteration, simile, or symbolism. Free hearts, free foreheads. The sound of F repeatedly in the same line in short with short intervals. It is alliteration. Then next is there is a phrase old age hath yet his honor and his toil is taken from the poem. You must know this is very important line, very inspirational, motivational in the old age. So it is taken from the poem Ulysses. When he says that although we have become very old, but our spirits are still very strong, we have strong willpower to move ahead, to go on adventures. Then the poem Ulysses is based on the Greek hero Odysseus, which in Latin is called Ulysses. The poem Ulysses by Alfred Lord Tennyson highlights the value of dash age, romantic age, Elizabethan age, Victorian age, or modern age. So the correct option is Victorian age. The spirit and willpower and determination found in the people living in the Victorian age. So the poem reflects the Victorian age. Then the poem reflects Tennyson's grief over the death of his friend. There is a personal touch in the poem as well. That is Tennyson's grief over the death of his friend. And what is the name of his friend? Arthur Hallam. So option B is correct. The poem is inspired by the Bible, the Odyssey, Paradise Lost, or Hamlet. Definitely, the poem is inspired by the old Greek hero Odysseus, and the correct option is the Odyssey. I hope these basic and very important MCQs will be very helpful to you. It will clear your basic concepts as well. I hope these MCQs are very helpful for you because it has cleared your basic concepts and history and background of the poem as well. I have covered almost all the important things in this presentation. Don't forget to press like button, share your comments as well, share my presentation with your friends, with your colleagues, and subscribe my channel if you have not subscribed it before. I'll be highly grateful to you. Thank you and Allah Hafiz.